Now I have to. Oh, damn it! This is gonna be a pain in the butt. I don't know this.
Back in the saddle.
Right. I'll do it like this.
So, the thing that I was talking about right when we got cut, or about to talk about right when we got cut, was this thing with the Me Too organization.
Oh, yeah.
So, according to the New York Post, the star-studded Time's Up charity, which claimed to have spent $1.7 million on legal defense funds for people, actually only spent $312,000.
Yeah.
So, they ended up spending that other $1.4 million on salaries, and $700,000 of that went entirely to 2 lawyers.
What was that?
So the Me Too Time's Up organization claimed to have spent $1.7 million on legal defenses in 2018.
Yeah.
But according to most recent audit, and this was in the New York Post, only 312,000 of that actually went to legal defense funds for people, and 1.4 million went towards salaries.
Well, it's crazy. I saw something the other day that we're talking about, like, because apparently, you know, the fuck, how do I get rid of the chat here? There we go. Because apparently, like, you know, when you bail somebody out of jail, the they get the bail money back, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. The ones that were bailing all the Antifa out in Portland and shit. They're like, oh, we spent like blah, blah, blah amount of money bailing people out. And now we're out of money. So if you got, so any of you who got your, you know, got your bail money back, if you wouldn't mind giving it back to it, because of course they kept it, you know.
Oh, fuck. And look at the people that were bailing out, dude.
I know, right? It's like, oh, wow, what a surprise, you know what I mean? Who'd have thunk they wouldn't have gave you the money back, right?
Yeah.
That's like asking catch and release people to show up in court.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I'd like to give your money back when I spend it all on fucking methamphetamines.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, I was trying to talk to some of my more liberal friends on like Facebook and stuff, and I was talking to them about this land grab bill from Cory Booker. So he's going to dole out up to 32 million acres of farmland at 160 acres per grant to people who basically are just interested in farming while being black. And and it'll have no
Wonder how that's going to work out.
it's at no cost whatsoever to the people getting the land. And I tried to explain to them like, look, first of all, this is based on race, and it's creating a precedent that citizens aren't eligible for equal protection, or they don't deserve it, and that all citizens basically owe black people, and they don't provide any recourse for how that debt's ever going to be paid off. It's just another payment.
Yeah,
sure, that's fine, but just on its face, how do you expect these people to take farming seriously on 160 acres of free land? They're just not going to do it. That's not. I mean, from a pure libertarian standpoint, it makes zero sense to just hand over all this land and expect people to grow farms on it.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, inevitably what's going to happen is that those are just going to turn into like ghettos.
Well, and look at like,
Yeah.
you know, what happened every time they've given that demographic land to farm. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's no case where that's ever worked before.
It's not exactly
And-
their strong point. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, there's literally nowhere ever
Nowhere
Ever.
ever has that worked.
in all fucking recorded history. Never has it ever worked.
But come on, guys, they're just like us, except for the color of their skin, right?
Yeah.
Right. And the content of their character.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, you seen that meme? It's like it shows a picture of Martin Luther King all sad or something. It's like that face, that feeling when your people have been judged by the contents of their character the whole time.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah, that's just, it's crazy to me that Joe Biden hasn't even finished the election yet, and they're already coming out with the straight up South African style land grab bills.
Yeah.
The only difference is
Well,
that,
they're not going to take it from white farmers, are they?
well, it's not. Yeah, that's the only caveat that makes it different, is that they're not straight up taking it.
Yeah.
They're only buying it from willing sellers.
From the
Yeah.
banks who have foreclosed on it because everybody's fucking. Yeah.
Exactly. All they need to do
Yeah.
is find enough Jewish interests to sell them the land.
And it shows an incredible. Well, look how they fucked with our history. So it shows an incredible lack of knowledge of history to think that that's. Why do you think we were in control of the land to begin with? It was because we were good at it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we know
Yeah.
what to do with it. Not because, like, none of this actually makes any sense the way they posit it. You know what I mean? How did the white man gain control? Unless, there's some kind of, unless we're better at some things. You know what I mean?
White supremacy.
But then, of course, in addition to giving them the land, we also have to. The bill provides that we also have to pay for them to be trained how to use it.
Jesus Christ.
Who's going to do that? Who's going to do that?
It does have written into the bill that applicants with farming experience will be favored,
Yeah.
but there's no requirement that they have to have experience. The only requirement is that they have to have at least one parent who is Black or African American, and that they have identified themselves as Black or African American at one point or another.
Yeah. And I really don't see that bill passing, but they're trying it is the point.
If the Democrats take control of the Senate, it's just like, who knows?
Yeah.
Oh, Black Brad Pitt says he's got a notification that his phone was infected with gay. Well, we're the cure for that, bud. Murray,
on
I was
on.
having
Give us a watch.
Murray, I was having network problems, so we went for like an hour, and then my network fucked up. So then we were off for like an hour, and then my network's back, so we're back on.
Well, Black Brad Pitt, just make sure that you don't try to use the free Wi-Fi on Harvey Milk Street, and you'll probably have a lot less problems.
Yeah.
I just posted a tweet into the Fren Report group chat there. This albino Indian guy. Did you see it? Have a look at the guy.
So, and albinos are the perfect example. That has nothing to do. Goddamn. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, if you're
he looks
if you're
Irish.
even
I,
black, if
I,
you're if you're a albino African,
Huh?
well, if you didn't vote for Joe Biden, you ain't black.
there you go.
Yeah, it depends on
Oh,
who you voted
yeah,
for.
the Africans think the albino Africans are like magic
Yeah,
and shit.
they got to kill them and eat them or something, don't they?
Yeah, they like kill them and like eat their brain or some shit.
But,
Yeah, why not?
But just if you look at that, I'm not saying that this guy should actually be let in the ethno state. But clearly there's some.
They look pretty Irish.
Yeah, but clearly there's some genetic link. I know we already know this, but it pops out once in a while. You can tell which ones have the I guess I'll just call it European genetic heritage, and some of them clearly do. It's mixed in there.
Yeah.
Like you can't just paint a black person white and they look like a white person like this guy does.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I was saying. Albino black people. Or albino sub-Saharans, I guess I should say.
Actually, funny thing, there's a on my Twitter feed, there's a picture of George W. Bush right underneath that albino Indian man, and they actually look kind of similar, to be honest.
But like I was saying, the what's it called? Fucking albino sub-Saharans are not. They're still black. You know what I mean? For every other intent and purpose, like it's not just there's all the other racial characteristics, and the amount of melanin doesn't matter that much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does for being attractive.
I wonder what Nick Cannon would say about albino sub-Saharans. You ever heard his melanin theory?
No.
It's hilarious. Let me see if I can find it. It's fucking funny as hell.
I love how all the neocons are coming out from under their rocks right now to to give their 2 cents about Trump. Like they basically disappeared 3 years ago after they were finished with their little extended and now they're like, "Oh, we're relevant again because Trump won't concede the election and the people have spoken."
Yeah.
When they voted for Joe Biden, what they were really voting for is for the return of neoconservatives.
Yeah. Well, technically, yes. But the people didn't. I don't think clearly some people did vote for him, but I think the majority didn't.
Here's what I was looking for: melanin theory. This shit is fucking funny. Melanin theory is a claim in Afrocentrism that a higher level of melanin, the primary determinant of skin color in humans, is the cause of an intellectual and physical superiority of dark-skinned people, and provides them with superior abilities, apparently not in farming or math or anything that actually matters. But maybe basketball.
Yeah.
But
But they got some rhythm, yo.
or even mystical supernatural ones. The alleged properties of melanin. humans evolved as blacks, the whites are mutants. Oh, they know absolutely nothing of genetic science at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have to be of a certain fucking IQ bracket to believe that shit.
Yeah.
Like it's
in spite of all evidence. Like, not even merely with a lack of evidence, but in spite of all evidence. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just that it's that brain block that prevents you from ever even thinking about it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't remember the exact moment that I had my first racist thought and realized that there were facts to support it, but it had to have been a pretty big epiphany. It was probably watching like on Molyneux or something. That's why he's not allowed on YouTube anymore.
Right.
Seriously, how many people became race realists from listening to Stefan Molyneux?
Oh God! I guess he's done some good, even if accidentally.
I don't know how like people actually like he would get annoying very fast.
Dude, I found out about him when he was still fucking trying to convince people to be completely autonomous units with no connection to anybody in any manner whatsoever. Like you'd be some fucking floating ball of fucking light. Oh, if anybody fucking tells you not to do something, that's abuse.
Yeah.
If you tell your kid to go to bed, that's child abuse, and that's horrifying. That's the same thing as beating your kid to death with the fucking 2x4. It's like, are you fucking retarded?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he is though.
And I never followed any of his shit or anything like that. I just saw him because people were fucking ragging on him, and I thought it was funny because I was like, dude, this guy's like fucking. He's taken the libertarian thing to the ultimate fucking extreme of stupidity.
Yeah.
And then you just would always go on about how he's such a kind of a celebrated fucking philosopher. I'm like, oh, dude. This isn't the age. I mean, it never was, to be honest, but this is definitely not the age where ideas stand on their merits.
No.
Yeah.
No, that is definitely not.
It's like I'm followed by 10 million fucking morons, therefore I'm a genius.
Yeah.
It's like, no.
Yeah.
That's not how it works.
His opinions about parenting and all of that, like you can never spank your children at all, and like all of that stuff it's so overbearing.
Brad Pitt talking about Molyneux said he's a Canadian, ergo retard on ice.
I'd use the fucking Canadian part loosely. I think he's a little bit more tribal than Canadian, but yes,
Molyneux is a French name, right? So
well, that doesn't matter.
But you know, when he's just laying out facts, he's really good. He's really well researched. He's good at explaining all the facts in an event. Like when he does his what pisses me off about this video series. Like he's really good on staying up on things and presenting the full story. But when he actually starts editorializing, that's when it's just like, oh my god, this guy's so dramatic.
Yeah. But here's the thing: I don't think he's a genius by any standards, but I think he's a pretty smart fucking guy. But that doesn't mean he has, he's a good person or thinks fucking sensible thoughts. He can just recognize patterns. He can still be a fucking jackass and be fucking really smart.
Yeah, he's Yeah, he's the kind of guy that when he gets an idea in his head, he just latches onto it and refuses to let go of it.
Yeah.
You know?
And anything that makes him feel smarter than everybody else, he's gonna, I'm gonna take this to the nth degree and I'll be an expert in it, and therefore I'm super smart. And it's like, well, yeah. But yeah, what I was gonna say is his flip there, to like tweeting out crime stats was pretty fucking epic, I gotta admit.
Yeah,
I think it's when
that
he
was
started,
pretty good shit.
Yeah, when he started creeping back into his
I also knew
normal
that was
self.
going to be the beginning of the end for him.
yeah.
But I
He
think
also started naming Jews too a little bit.
Yeah, a
he
little
did a bit.
I think his actual self-destruction was his picking on the eggs and taking it.
See, I think he could have got away with the eggs, no problem.
Well, no, it wasn't what he was talking about. Is the fact that he fucking didn't let it go. He just like kept fucking going on and on and on, and then it's like, what the fuck is it? Do I want to see a 400th fucking tweet about this guy arguing with middle-aged fucking childless women? Like, we all know this. Like,
oh no, see, yeah, that's what you're talking about. I'm talking about his
getting banned from shit. Oh yeah.
Yeah, getting banned from everything is when he started doing the race shit. Because that's what happens.
Yeah.
And I was
We
actually
all
surprised.
know that.
I was surprised he stayed on as long as he did,
Yeah.
because he was fucking red pilling a lot of people on that.
Yeah, he was talking about race and IQ back in like 4 years ago, and all of these MAGAs were turning to his channel, totally normie crowd MAGAs, and all of a sudden he'd just start talking about race and IQ, and you're like, that's just something that isn't talked about anywhere in any of their other outlets. Like, can you imagine if Andrew Clavin started talking about race and IQ? Like how quickly his show would be canceled.
Yeah.
Right.
Or like Matt Walsh was actually the one exception. For a second there, he talked a little bit about race and crime stats.
Yeah, there's another one that's kind of funny too, because for years Matt Walsh was just kind of like, he'd pop up and I'm just like, what a fruit. Like, who the hell is this guy? He's got nothing fucking important to say. And then I just didn't really see him anywhere because I didn't delve into it. And the next thing I know, he's popping up in my timeline being pretty based.
Yeah.
I thought that was quite I actually retweeted him and I said something like, I thought this guy was like, I didn't use the word fruit, but I think I put something like, I thought this guy was a fruit. What the fuck, is he based now?
Yeah, I don't know. He got a hot idea and he just ran with it for a minute there.
Yeah.
But his position has always been to sit in his car and complain about how conservatives aren't being responsible enough.
Yeah.
That's basically his entire show is just railing against his own side for not being the adults in the room or something like that.
Yeah, like I said, he's like super fucking just kind of fruity.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, you're not even fucking like, nothing you're talking about is, has the slightest fucking relevance right now. There's this giant fucking thing happening right in front of you and you don't see it. And then, But it seems to happen, like, these people seem to come to you can only ignore it for so fucking long.
Yeah.
Right. So the people who eternally ignore it are ignoring it for one of two reasons. One, they're fucking just dumbasses who don't want to fucking think.
And there's lots of that, that's for sure.
Yeah, they want to live their fantasy world. Or they had the realization and weighed the fucking what's this gonna cost me to fucking come out and talk about it?
I got the
Gesundheit.
coof. I'm gonna die.
F and chat, please. Or they weigh it and balance it and go like, this is gonna cost me my career and my livelihood, and I'm just gonna pretend it's not happening, even though I know it.
Yeah.
They fucking know it because they're not
Well, you
stupid.
Shouldn't have taken the trip to Israel.
Yeah. What so many do? I mean, I'm not justifying because I think it's kind of the ultimate sin is sitting against your own fucking people.
Yeah.
Oh, Black Brad Pitt just donated $1 diamond.
Sweet.
Oh.
Follow me for next week's brick tweet.
Is Day of the Brick coming up?
He was it's kind of an inside joke. Should I tell him, Brad?
Tell him.
Sure.
It's not the Brad. I'm gonna reveal his secrets if he doesn't want me to.
Yeah,
Oh,
I've known
big
known
fucking-
Black Brad Pitt on Twitter longer than most of my other mutuals.
I don't-
I've known him for quite a while.
I don't know if I'm.
Years.
Hold on. Is he under Black Brad Pitt?
Yeah.
People like baked. I don't know if anybody does like baked Alaska.
There's more than one Black Brad Pitt. What the fuck is going on here?
He likes to yeah, I'm pretty sure nobody does like baked Alaska. Honestly. Like 2.5 years to be precise. Yeah. But I'm pretty sure nobody does like baked Alaska. I think he makes money because they send him super chats so they can fuck with him while he's live. But yeah, for the most part, I don't think people like him.
I never understood why anybody liked them. I never understood how that even became a fucking.
Well,
Remember there was
he had a redemption arc earlier this year. He started going on. He went on the kill stream, and he pretty much disavowed every single bad thing he said about white nationalists.
At least fucking stick with something. Fucking what an asshole. Like, I would have more respect for him if he stood up to that.
He's
Yeah,
trying to
man.
fall under the Groiper umbrella right now.
Yeah, you're trying to be like with Nick Fuentes and ditch shit. Oh no, okay, it's fine.
Okay, dude, we are mutuals. I didn't know who.
And it's a good move for him because he was kind of like a man without a movement for a little while there because he obviously didn't fit in with the milquetoast types and he insulted the entire alt-right and he made a jackass of himself by doing too much IRL streaming. So now he's just kind of like embraced the fact that he's an IRL clown and apologized for all the mean things that he said. And so now people have just kind of let him back as long as he
Well,
as long
but it's not
as long
the
as he
same
doesn't,
people, really, because it's all these Zoomers and shit. Like anybody that was around when he did it doesn't like.
Well,
him.
yeah, but like,
you know what I mean.
Ethan Ralph's crew was like really hard on him when he was doing all that, but now they're all friends again, kind of. Like,
yeah, that's what we're talking about. Jamie is Bake's video after Christchurch and how he disavowed everybody, and it's like, because that was what, like 2 years ago.
Yeah,
like all these Nick fans and everything. I don't think they were even like around 2 years ago. You know what I mean? These are like 16-year-old kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's something to be said for that. They're kind of they're kind of new to him.
Yeah.
Well, like back fucking 4 or 5 years ago, I didn't understand what was going on with that guy or who he was or where he was from. He just kept popping up on my fucking Twitter feed, and he was always associated with the kind of fucking the lamest part of the mega crowd.
Yeah.
Like I just never understood. I don't know. I never saw him say or heard him say anything. He just looked like a fucking douchebag.
I've never seen anybody who looks more like the merchant meme come to life than Baked Alaska. He tries to. He says he's Slavic, but that nose ain't Slavic.
Yeah.
He did make a legitimate reach for the alt-right in like Richard Spencer's crowd in 2017.
Yeah.
It just like he was booked for Charlottesville, and then just something happened after the Christchurch shooting. He just decided, no, I'm just gonna be full MAGA-peed, and I'm not gonna have anything to do with these people. And which was the wrong move. It's not it. It's like what I keep trying to stress this whole thing of we shouldn't be disavowing entire sections of our movement just because we don't agree on something. Like,
no, we should be fighting with them. We shouldn't be arguing and being all petty and shit. However, I mean, like, we should be honest about it, but we got to remember that if you're honest about what you're observing and you have honest criticism, it's not going to be taken as honest criticism by a lot of people, because a lot of people are fucking petty.
yeah,
So it's like, it's a balance of, do we just, edit what we say and keep that to ourselves, or are we honest about it? I'm not saying that it's a moral thing. I'm just saying, like, that's a balance I think everybody has to pick for themselves. And as long as you're not out there causing drama for fucking attention, then I mean, it's gonna happen. You gotta do what you gotta do, right?
And I think it's okay to criticize individuals for doing things that are, or saying things that don't make sense. Obviously, we could find something to say about just about every single figurehead in the movement of the past 4 years.
Yeah.
But it's like when you take shots at their entire fan base as well, or like entire swaths of the movement, and disavow that.
Well, when it comes to people like Nick Fuentes, they did it to us, not the other way around.
Yeah, but even then,
we just fought back.
Yeah, and I should have called that out. I should have called that out when I was saying that, like, I didn't like how the TRS people were dogging Nick Fuentes for being out in the streets, or dogging not Nick Fuentes. I was talking about dogging the Proud Boys.
Yeah.
And I should point out that, like, the other way is also annoying to me. I don't like it when people cast off the TRS crowd as being Wignats or whatever, going too far, because everybody is kind of coping with what they're seeing, and they're trying to figure out, well, is there a political solution? Is there not a political solution? It's not clear whether either is the case.
Yeah.
And everybody's just trying to come to terms with the fact that,
right, I really don't think there is a political solution, but it doesn't mean we shouldn't try.
Yeah.
And it also doesn't mean we should shit on anybody who thinks there is one. The best thing you can do is not argue with people that you have a disagreement with them. You either fucking ignore them, let them do their thing and see how it plays out, or you try to offer helpful advice. I mean, obviously, if you see somebody who's fed posting all the time and is doing nothing but being destructive, you do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Deal with it however you want. But I mean, like the Nick Fuentes thing, I've got my own opinions, and once again, I come from a completely fucking, like, I don't know who the fuck this guy is. I don't know about all this fucking shit. I started hearing about fucking. Sorry, I started hearing about Nick Fuentes and the fucking Groypers, and I'm like, I thought groypers were just fucking different frogs, dude. Like, what the fuck is this guy talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, I'm friends with groypers before before this Nick Fuentes guy was.
Yeah, he kind of hijacked the Groyper term.
I don't really care about that per se, but I'm just like, I have no idea what the fuck is going on with this shit.
Yeah.
But like, I'm still, mutuals on Twitter with people who are Nick Fuentes fans.
Yeah. Well, I
just-
listen to him.
Yeah. Well, I don't myself, but I mean, I don't criticize him or talk about him.
But I also listen to Southern Dingo, who says that anybody who votes for Donald Trump is a race traitor. So,
yeah. And, well, that's another thing
which I
too.
completely disagree with, but I still like his takes on things.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. And it's just
Well,
like,
and
you can go.
the thing is, I don't think I fucking know everything either. So
Oh, that's the other thing. And honestly, I was blocked by Nick Fuentes, but I was retweeting memes and clips of him doing the chocolate chip cookie fucking meme.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that was pretty funny shit. I don't know if he realized how funny that was.
Well, he didn't come up with it though, is the thing.
But it doesn't matter. He was doing it. I don't care who came up with it. The fact that he was actually fucking doing it.
Well, but that's
And he
the
has an
problem with him,
audience.
is that he acts like it's his.
No, I
You know
know,
what I mean?
and that goes to what I said. I have my own opinions of the guy, but I don't care how that meme gets spread around. I just care that it does.
Yeah.
We can work on the other stuff after it becomes so fucking ingrained in conversation that number becomes a joke,
Mm-hmm.
and nobody takes it seriously anymore. And then there may be a day, and this will still be off in the future, because I mean, just talk to people. Just fucking talk to people. They've been
It is
so
hysterical.
trained.
It is hysterical that they decided to clip that one particular joke and make that, like, focus on that anytime they talk about him. So that if anybody cares to actually see, like, oh, well, what do they mean when they say that he's a Holocaust denier, and they see this clip of the Cookie Monster thing, it's like, at least a third of the people who see that are going to think it's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And once again, with the Zoomers, and the further you get away from that, they just don't fucking care anymore.
That's
Like,
true.
they don't seem interested in finding out about it. They don't seem interested in discussing it. They just don't give a fuck about it.
I mean, I didn't when I was 16, 18, whatever, either. You know what I mean? So.
Mm-hmm.
I did. I just didn't have the fucking resources that I did when I was 25.
When I was 15, I was like hanging out with what was that, National Alliance or whatever.
Oh.
Those kind of guys. So I was pretty.
Dude. Okay.
I had the resources. I'll put it that way.
we're on air, so I got to say this in a certain way that
well, I know I've had an FBI file since I was at least 15.
I don't want to do any doxing, and I also don't want to say any bad words, so I got to think of how to word this. I had some friends who are of that ilk, and the guys who introduced me to Screwdriver and things like that. So we're in our mid-late 20s, and they regale me on their days of going to skinhead shows and actually getting into brawls at fucking we were talking about the other day, the punk rocker who did gone to the rockabilly stuff. Social Distortion.
Yeah.
Getting into brawls at a social distortion show because fucking Buddy called them out on stage. He goes, "See those guys back there? We don't want their type in our fucking shows." Because there was a lot of that fucking kind of warring going on.
Yeah, it was a big thing in the little punk movement.
In the Sharps versus the Skins and all this garbage, and the what color
Sharps
laces
versus the Skins and the Trads and all that bullshit.
Yeah, what color laces you wear in your docks and all this fucking garbage.
Yeah.
Anyways, I I fucking white pilled one of them on the fucking Holocauster.
Yeah.
Because he was like, "Oh no, it's it's cool. They really did it." And I'm like, "Hold on, I have some videos to show you and some mathematics we have to talk about." I'm not even fucking kidding. Like this guy was like fucking
Some basic physics. Like.
he had some tattoos that he had to end up covering up as he got older. He was like a fucking cartoon, fucking American History X type, right?
Yeah.
And the guy had no fucking idea. And he was at the trial. He was living in the Toronto area at the time of Ernst Sundell's trials.
Yeah.
He was out there fucking protesting and fucking, forming walls between skinheads between them and the other side and shit like this. And he had no fucking idea.
Well, see, it was kind of crazy for me because when I was in Texas, we were into it, but didn't know. We didn't have the resources to be that into it. You know what I mean? Dude, and then I moved to California. I didn't even know they used Confederate flags to symbolize racism until I moved to California. Because in Texas, like, back then especially, nobody would ever think twice about that at all. And you know what I mean?
Dude.
About it being racist or anything like that. It was just Southern pride,
Dude, my rockabilly band, there's still pictures of us fucking floating around. My drummer used to put up a fucking rebel flag behind our fucking band when we played.
Yeah.
And this was in the 2000s. But even then, nobody said shit. Nobody said anything.
Yeah.
Even that fucking short time ago.
But then, like when I moved to California, out of the big skinhead groups at our school and area was a CFA. So official name was Confederate Fighting Army, and they were skinheads. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then the unofficial name was Crazy Fucking Aryans.
Yeah.
So.
See, we're clearly, I mean, Canada's not like the United States. The population is so much smaller. Everything's kind of a softer, smaller version of what you get in the United States, from what I can see. But I remember I had a kind of, I don't know what it was. A buddy of mine, like, he was from here. I wasn't. I came here because of my ex. But he immediately, we started going to the punk rock shows and stuff. And he immediately latched on, made friends with all these, I would call them ex-skinheads because they were a little too old for that shit. And they weren't really doing it anymore. I was never impressed with them because they were all fucking dumb guys.
Yeah.
Right? They were just like fucking dumb guys. I remember being at a bar and there was this, stop me if I told you this story. I don't think I have. There's this really fruity, like super fruity fucking little black guy. And I'm talking like, 5'4", 92 fucking pounds, sopping wet. And he was like kind of like fluttering around the bar like a little fucking fairy, right?
Yeah.
And I thought he was pretty fucking funny. And I'm just like, don't bother me and I won't bother you. Like, you're not a fucking threat. A, he's not reproducing, so he's not fucking making more of them, little fuckers. And B, he's not a fucking a threat to anybody, right? And these guys were started mouthing off to him, and some beefy guys with big fucking pipes and the fucking tattoos and the shaved heads and the Doc Martens and all this shit. And they start fucking like, oh, we gotta kick that fucking guy's ass. What the what's a guy like that doing around here? And saying, starting to say a little bit more and a little mouthier and a little mouthier. And I stopped him. I was like, what are you fucking picking on that guy for? Like, leave him the fuck alone. And one of them was like, oh, you're a gamer word lover or something like this. And I was like, all right. First I go, you guys want to be fucking effective. There's a couple of neighborhoods that I know that are being overrun by violent fucking gangs. They're running drugs or fucking assaulting people. You want to be effective? We'll go right now. We'll go stand up in the street corner in that neighborhood. and get into a fucking brawl with some of the fucking guys who are in actual danger. And you're fucking picking on this guy. And one of the girls got in my face, and I'm like, oh, I'm fucked now. When you get a girl fucking mouthing off, she's gonna fucking take a swing at you.
No
and
winning
you're
in that situation.
Yeah. And what I did,
gonna come of that.
what I did was I leaned in, and so everybody could fucking hear me. I wasn't yelling, but I was saying very fucking forcefully. I talked to my Opa, and I was like, my Opa was in Berlin when it was getting bombed, and he fled with his, my mother was 1 year old, and he fled with his wife and our fucking and my mother when the Russian army was running in. He was a card carrying member and all this type of shit. And I leaned in and I said, Kinderfrage mit Zucker bestreut, which is, I think I've told you guys before, is what my mom used to say when I asked what was for dinner, which is a children's question sprinkled with sugar. And whoa, this guy's like, he's like 100% Bavarian phenotype, man. And they just like gave me all this respect. I'm like, you fucking numbnuts. Did I lose you guys?
No, we're here.
Okay, yeah. I'm just like, you fucking numbnuts. Like, I just shut you guys down with a children's fucking saying, right? Like, I never respected that. Like, no fucking knowledge about anything, no thought process, just, oh, I'm in a group. And I always thought it was a shame because it could have been fucking useful people.
Right.
Instead of getting blind fucking drunk and doing coke, maybe they could have been raising their families and learning trades. And a lot of them did. A lot of them ended up doing that. But
yeah. Well, like,
I thought it was
like the actual like skinhead types were really just kind of saw themselves as the foot soldiers. You know what I mean? And then that's when I was like met the like National Alliance people and shit. They're a lot more political and smarter, and not just brawling. Didn't have tattoos.
I don't know much
Swazi
about them
tattooed on their head and shit.
Yeah.
I don't know much about them except that they're the only ones that write articles about white victims of black violence.
No, I did lose you.
They're,
Can you hear me?
Well, Brett, we'll talk about them again when the Congo's around, because he knows quite a bit about them. But they're they introduced me to a lot of stuff, but there's a lot of Judaism at the top of it. So
yeah. Well, I think Patrick Casey was right to disband American Identity Movement. I think that the membership model right now is just way too risky.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Like any type of group, they're just gonna go after and look like, hey, and try to set them up and all that shit. Oh,
Yeah.
Old Man Hockler, by the way, skinheads were wearing Doc Martens since before hipsters did.
Yeah. Oh, it's funny. When I guess my brother would have been 15, 16. He was not into that. He was a rock and roller, and he decided he was going to get some Doc Martens, and he got some fucking cherry red 14 holes.
Yeah. The box bloods.
Yeah. And wore his pants tucked into him. It was so funny. Like, people, whoa, what are you, a skinhead or something? It was like, dude, my hair's down past my fucking shoulders. I play guitar and fucking rock and roll, and yeah, but you're wearing red Doc Martens. You know what that means? I'm like, no, should we? The best part is, I had some 10-hole blue ones, and I broke my fucking laces, and all I had was white running shoelaces.
Yeah.
And fuck, did I ever get shit on for that for so fucking long. Like 4 years later, we're fucking sitting around at lunchtime in high school, and somebody would go, oh yeah, well fucking I almost said my own name, like Ray's a fucking skid, and he wears those white laces in his Doc Martens. I'm like, fuck you guys, I broke my laces. I didn't mean to, didn't know, didn't think about it.
I mean, I used to rock the Oxblood 14 holes with white laces on purpose, but
yeah. I didn't even fucking know. I didn't know. I was in buttfuck nowhere, Ontario, dude.
Yeah.
If they didn't make a movie of it that got really popular, we didn't hear about it.
That makes sense. Well, guys, I'll have to go an extra half hour than normal because we were down for so long, but it is 5:30 a.m. here, so.
Oh, yeah, shit.
Gonna have to call it a night.
All right, good night, brother.
But thank you all for showing up again.
Thanks, Steve. Oh,
yeah.
sorry.
Good night, Arid.
Just said we got.
Sorry, every time we went to talk, I talk at the same fucking time. Sorry, Steve.
No, I said good night, Arid.
All right, good night, man.
Is that we got the merch up. It's in the YouTube description, and I can put the link in the D-Live chat again. I think that's right. It is. So you can get you some official Fren Report merch. But yeah. And we'll be back tomorrow.
All right. Have a good night, everybody.
Same bad time, same bad channel.
But in space.
But in
space.
In a snow globe. What if space is just a snow globe?
What if space is just a snow globe, but in space?
Whoa. That is deep.
What if a snow globe is just space within a snow globe?
Now hear me out. But in space.
But in space. Fucking meta, dude. Whoa.
All right, brother. Have a good night. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, old man. Yeah, we can definitely see you because the YouTube chat goes on the screen. So I have D-Live open. There's the delay for it to come from YouTube on here, but I can see it for sure. But all right, good night, everybody.
All right, good night, Jacob.
Night.
The state of Texas won't let me in. I ain't gonna be Blood's gone, my lungs are shot, my heart's about to beat. But I ain't gonna let that bother me, no. I'm drinking, smoking, gun to rebel son. I ain't gonna let that bother me, no. I'm drinking, smoking, gun to rebel son. I ain't gonna be here long. Not afraid I'm going. I ain't gonna be here long, Lord. I ain't gonna be here long. Ain't gonna be here long. I'm afraid I'm going. I ain't gonna be here long, Lord. I'm drinking, smoking, gun to rebel son.